Welcome back to the Edison Project, where with a pile of junk and a little bit of imagination, you too can be an inventor. So I recently had a donation to the cause. I've got this really neat 2-inch face mill. Well, really neat, but it's a 2-inch face mill. The problem with it is I don't have an arbor. What I do have is an attempt at an arbor that I had made earlier. And if you'll notice right here, if it'll focus, that that's where it's hit. If I take it over here to the mill and I slide her up in there, there's a rocking back and forth because I didn't get the taper correct. I only got it, it's only hitting in this one spot here. So the question becomes, how can I take this and make it into an arbor for this? The first thing I need to do is turn the MT3 taper, and I don't have a taper attachment for my Atlas 12 by 36. So let's do a little geometry. See if I can focus in here. The specs for the MT3 says that it's going to be 0.9380 at the top of the taper. The taper is going to be 2.6875 long, and it's going to be 0.7780 at the bottom. Doing a little math, that shows that the difference between the top and the bottom is 0.1600. You take that in half, and it's 0.80 to side. So if we had a piece that was exactly 2.6875 long, we mounted it on centers, and we moved the tailstock over by 0.80, we could get an MT3 taper. However, this isn't exactly 0.26875. It's actually 0.5660. 56645. Well, 5.660. So we can do a little math here. If we take that 0.80 spread over 2.6875, that's going to be the same spread of x over 5.660. Okay, so with a little math to find out x, pause here just a second. So if I do a little math with my trusty phone calculator, x becomes 0.1685. Now, what I can do is turn this on centers and move the tailstock towards me 0.1685. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put me an indicator right here, and I'm just going to measure the movement. And here's my setup. I've got a dial indicator on my tailstock, and I've got it zeroed out. And I've got 2 screws here, one on each side. There you go. And I will turn those at the same time until I get 0.1685. 1685. See, I've got the short screwdriver for the back end. I really ought to swap these out for Allen screws, but and I have a screwdriver for the front end. Loosen that one while tightening in the back. That's 20,000. 40, 50,000. $80,000. That's 100,000. $1.6. $1.68 and a half. And then I'm just going to make sure both sides are tightened down and that my vise goes back to the same number when locked. It generally doesn't. So with it just snug just a little bit, I'm going to give it just a little bit more of a turn. And then when I tighten it down, I've got 0.1685. Now, it doesn't matter how far out my tailstock goes. The only thing that's hinging is this part. That's why we're using the length of this part. I've got a screw in there to act as a dog. I've got, move this out of the way real quick. I've got me a live center on this side, and I've got just a bolt with a button head for this side. The bolt goes into here to let it wobble, and then I'll bring the tailstock up to it. So this is my setup. Let's turn it and see how it does. Let's see if I can get a good view of the lathe there. Engage some safety equipment there. And we're ready to turn. This last pass is 20,000. And it seems that it's not concentric, so I may have to go back and make another 20,000. All right, I've been taking 10,000ths cuts all the way across. You'll notice the ram is out a little further than it was a minute ago. I had to pull it out a little bit to get clearance. Now that did not interrupt my cut whatsoever because the ram is coming out straight and it's going to remain at this exact same point. Now looking at my part, I can tell where I had done a previous cut. The finish is a little bit different, and I don't know if this will focus, but the previous cut is not concentric. So what I'm going to do is take another pass at this and see if I can get it concentric all the way down. Now you'll notice this is a little bit longer than 2.683 or whatever the exact measurement was for an MT3, but I'm okay as long as I don't go below 9.380, and let's see, that's 9.20. what am I getting right up here at the end of my cut? I have 0.9890. Alright, so I can take off another, let me double check, 9380. I can take off another 50 thou. Off of each side I can take off 25 thou. But let's go and take off another 10 and see if that won't clean it up all the way down. Now this should be the final cut. Let's see here. We still have a small space to where the old turning is coming through, but I don't think I want to take this down any further. Instead, what I'm going to do is take a piece of emery cloth and clean it up just a little bit. I want it nice and smooth. A 2000 grit pad. All right. And then just an oily cloth. Give a little bit of protection to it, get all of that grit off, clean it up. And we're going to call that done. Now the question is, do I have it right? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to take my part. I've got a little excess here, but that will just stick up in the machine. Won't make a difference. I'm going to take a Sharpie and I'm just going to paint this side up just a bit. All the way around. Alright, I don't have any bluing right now, so oh well. Then we're going to bring it over here to the machine, to the mill, slide it up in there. Ah yeah, there's no rock whatsoever in that. Alright, let's see if we can get it to spin just a little bit and take a look at it. Woo, that thing's hot. And we see that let's see if you can see. as always, the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. So I turned the head of that Arbor till I had a nice press fit. The center bolt for the Facemill, you had to use that to pull it on. I made a couple keys here. Get that turned around. I made a couple keys there that are a really tight fit in both the slot on the quill and into the Facemill, so there's no movement there. And I've got some, I believe these are SEHT carbide inserts in the Facemill. I've got a piece of steel set up here. Going to take a let's see, a 35 thousandths cut, about half the width of the mill. I've already taken one cut. So let's spin this up. We're going to be going at 500 RPMs at a fairly decent speed, I think. Let's kick this off and see how she does. I'd say for such a light mill, that's not a bad finish at all. There we go.